Right, and we're live, ready to go. Hi everyone who's listening, who's viewing or whatever. You're listening to HTG. Again, I'm Craig. I nearly said I'm Mike.
You wanna be.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh. Yeah, so
Yeah.
as you know, you've heard the voice of wisdom there coming from the other side.
Yeah, I'm Mike. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah. So today we're going to do a little bit of a kind of a special as it's coming up towards Christmas and do a quick, well, I say a quick, a bit of a lengthy discussion a bit later on after the news regarding all surrounding VR. For those who kind of want to enter the world, as myself may or may be, depending on whether I'm on Santa's good list.
Fair enough.
Um, Quickly talking about that, basically, are you ready for Christmas? How are you doing?
Yeah, fine. Yeah, pretty
D-
well prepared now that we've got electricity back and everything else after nice storm Aurora or whatever she was called.
Arwen,
Uh,
Arwen was it?
Arwen. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You didn't win.
No,
Arwen.
not at
Yeah.
all. Not at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
weekend
That.
without
Yeah.
pretty much a
So
weekend without electricity. So
yeah, we were meant to record last week, and the night we went meant to record, was it Thursday night or Friday night? I can't remember now.
Friday. Yeah,
The night we went to record, Mike lost all power until
yeah,
Monday, Tuesday, and then obviously we only have small windows where we can record. Hence why we're now 2 weeks on from the last recording. So I can only
yeah,
apologise for
yeah.
that.
Blame the storm. Blame the storm.
Yeah, eye of the
It's pretty
storm.
bad though. Jeez, it's like 95-mile-an-hour winds,
Yeah, luckily,
fences
uh,
and all sorts being knocked over. It was pretty stupid.
yeah, luckily we've had a new roof put on. Otherwise, I think we'd have lost all the tiles off our roof. It would have been open to the elements now. Um,
Probably.
I don't know. My wife's sister-in-law, they woke up to a nice new trampoline in the back of their garden. It was like a big
Yeah.
10 foot trampoline. It just flew over and just plonked itself right in the middle of their back garden.
Big kid in
Yeah. I'd be like, oh, kids, get out, go and play while it's there.
that.
I've woke up to snow this morning, so that's been a nice little drive into work. That's our first good, decent bit of snow for this year. Well, this winter time as we approach Christmas.
Yeah, I mean it's all related to the storm, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine.
Um, Other than that, are we all right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm doing better, doing better. I don't have Caitlin this time, so
I thought you were going to say I don't have hands as
obviously
you're waving your hands
I
around.
don't have hands. I have hands now. Oh, green hand. We. Um. Yeah, we're getting on with Caitlin, getting her to sleep and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit more free, which is cool. It's all good.
Good, good. Um, yeah. Other than that, yeah, I think I'm about ready for Christmas. To be honest with you, now I've spent an absolute fortune, and like I've said there, I'm open. I've hit Santa's good list, and I get a nice new Oculus Quest 2 for Christmas. But we'll talk a little bit more about that very soon. Uh, what
Sounds
I'll,
good.
what I'll do is I'll push on quickly through the gaming news, brief bit of news that I've noted down. I just first want to open up by basically stating a correction to the last podcast we did. Do you remember when I mentioned about the Halo Infinite Battle Pass
Hmm.
and about it taking a very long time to get across the Battle Pass?
Yeah.
Um, Now, what I found out was what people were doing is they were saying they could play 9 hours of gameplay and literally only level up once or twice.
Hmm.
Now, the reason being is because the battle pass is not based on experience points earned. The battle pass is based on, say, grapple a banshee, and then kick
It's like
someone out.
an
Yeah.
achievement based sort of thing.
So you
Yeah.
do that, and they will give you so many points, and then you keep hitting these targets, and then what will happen is obviously you get points when you come out of the game, which will increase your level across the battle pass. So what people
Yep.
are doing is saying we're playing an amazing game. We're playing hours and hours on end, and then we're coming to the end of the night and we've just not moved on battle pass whatsoever. Um, the flip side of that, which I discussed previously, was people are going into games, so you're getting a number of people that have Battle Pass and going around just trying to grapple people out of a Banshee. As soon as they've done that, they're then quitting out of the game, leaving teams with less players, and obviously making the game basically a little bit shitter for the other people that want to play the game properly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I believe they did. I believe Microsoft did some stuff pretty quickly though.
I think they either are working on it still, just to quickly change it around, or they have started changing stuff already. Don't quote me on that.
They added like an achievement for playing a game like all the way through.
All right, okay. So
and
you
that's
get
like
the
a
points every time.
repeatable ribbon.
That makes more sense to do that. Yeah.
They added a bunch. I think it was just like in the interim until they fixed the problem. But
Right.
basically, they added a few things to make it not so bad for people, which is fair.
Yeah, that makes sense to do that. So.
Yeah. I've got to admit, out of most games that we've played recently, Halo plays really well.
Oh yeah, so last time we recorded, we hadn't actually played Halo at that point in time. I'd played a bit of the beta, but that was it. When we went on it, if I remember right, I was playing on the. Was I playing via the cloud? I wasn't I? So I was playing via the cloud, and what we've always said that playing by the cloud would probably be detrimental in first-person shooters. In actual fact, I found that if that was the case, when I get on my Xbox and play, I'm going to be playing an absolute stonker of a game because I remember we were playing the skull. Do you know when you got to hold the skull and stuff like that? And I mean, I might have held it for the longest time in a game and stuff like that. So I wasn't playing badly, not one little bit. If anything, I was coming out on top quite a lot.
Yeah.
So just shows you how far the cloud gaming's coming along now.
I know.
Let's quickly move on, as I say, I want to get onto the VR stuff. So we've got Xbox Metaverse, which is Xbox, which you can go and log into now. If Mike, if you can do me a favour, can you just quickly Google Xbox Metaverse? Because I can't remember the actual link, the website. So what this is basically you can jump into this kind of Xbox Live museum, walk around with other people there. You can go. It takes you through the ages. I've lost you, Mike. There. Oh, are you still there? You were chatting, but it's doing this crazy thing. I think again. Just bear with me, people. I'll try this.
You hear me? Yay! Technical difficulties. They're always good. They're always good fun. That would make sense because I heard a little bit of a blip. And then great.
Hello. There we go. We're back now.
There we go.
I don't know what it was. It was like my headset kicked you out. It's done this a couple of times now, hasn't it?
There was a little bit of a glitch, but I didn't realise you couldn't hear me, so I just didn't say anything. But...
All right. So yeah, what I was saying is in the Xbox Metaverse, or museum, you walk around with other people, and then what happens is it'll take you through the age and history from Xbox, the first Xbox, all the way through up to today. You know, different releases, different accessories, all the little achievements they've done, and little hurdles they've hit on the way. Then you can also go in and see your own little achievements. So it'll tell you when you first joined Xbox, the first game you ever played, the first achievement you ever earned. It'll tell you the most you've ever earned, the most you've earned in a year, and so on and so forth. And it's quite a good little kind of eye-opener, because I went in and some of the games where I thought, I'm going to be, Rainbow Six Vegas or something like that. That'll be my best game, like most game played or something like that. And it wasn't. It was some stuff like FIFA 17 or 19 or something.
Oh, no, okay.
Something totally weird that I thought, all right, okay, I didn't realise I'd played that much, but...
Yeah. Well, it's museum.xbox.com.
Yeah, I knew it was something very simple, but yeah, head over there, have a little look, and yeah, it's pretty cool anyway. Good little thing to have a look at. Moving on very quickly, Microsoft Edge web browser has now added a clarity function for cloud gaming. So if you are using the web browser to do basically gaming via Xbox, it they've now kind of give you that little boost, so you get better picture quality and less
All right,
stutter,
okay.
less stutter now.
It's a
I
bit
don't know.
bit more optimized.
Yeah, I don't know kind of how they've done it, but as soon as you you sort of activate that cloud gaming, something's built into the new Edge web browser that kind of maybe it tries to focus all its capacity on the screen at one time.
Yeah.
So we've got Sea of Thieves has a new season 10 update. On this, you can now play out being a pirate even more so, where you can now bury your own treasure. You can create maps to your treasure and pin them on a board for others to find. Keep them yourself so you can go back to your loot later on. So use it as like a storage. Or
Alright.
you can create maps, pop them on the board, get people to go into certain areas and ambush them. Things
Cool.
like that. So you can, it's just adding that little bit extra. I know there's been a lot more skins and content for accessories in there, all surrounding Pirates of the Caribbean as well. Has been added as part of the season 10 update. I've got coming soon to Game Pass, so in December. A couple of these have actually already dropped. So we have Among Us is coming in December.
Yep.
We have Anvil. That should be out as of today. We've got Archvale. That's out today. Final Fantasy 13-2, that is come out today. Lawn Mowing Simulator, that is out today.
Oh.
I played the demo of this.
It's the only though, isn't it?
I played a demo of this. I played about 10 minutes, mowed myself a penis into a very someone's lovely lawn, and then I turned the game off. As I was doing it, my wife turned around to me and went, "I knew you were going to mow a penis." She knows me very well. Rubber Bandits, that's out today. Now this looks like a pretty good, cool little game to have a little go at. So Rubber Bandits is just a party game with some crazy physics, some weapons. Basically, shoot the hell out of each other, and you basically play as like these little rubber figures, like a rubber banana, or just daft little wacky crazy cartoon. Just a quick jump in, jump out brawler game, which there seems to be a lot of these quite lately. Stardew Valley has hit Game Pass as of today.
Yep.
We have Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sector. That's out today. Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. That is out on the 7th.
What a game name that
just
is.
sounds weird, doesn't it? I've just looked at so the abbreviation would be SWOTS. SWOTS.
SWAT.
Yeah, they should have probably just called it SWAT and added, abbreviate into that.
If you asked anyone what the name of the actual game was called for a game called SWAT, no one would have got that the O was organ.
Oh, I know, but you know what, right? Even though I've said that name of that game, there's no way, if you asked me in 10 minutes' time, what was that game called? I wouldn't be able to tell you. I'd forget. There's not a chance I'm remembering that name.
I remember Organ Training Simulator.
Oh, jeez.
Remember that bit, but I don't remember the first bit.
Yeah, Space Warlord.
Space Warlords, okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Moving on, we have Halo Infinite coming on December 8th. So is this is the single
That'll get you
player?
the campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The campaign. I don't think there's any co-op on there yet.
It's only single player campaign. Co-op and Forge are not out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's coming at a later date. But I've heard very, very good things about it.
Them as part of Game Pass.
If it's anything like the multiplayer, then I would think it's good. So the definite 1 year delay has helped them, definitely. We have One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. That's coming out December 9th. I can't believe there's been a fourth one. We have Aliens Fireteam Elite. That's coming December 14th. That might be a good one, little one to jump in and have a little go on that. As I said earlier as well, Among Us is coming on the 14th as well. and then that is it. I think up to Christmas. I think.
Yeah, it is on the Game Pass.
Yeah.
Just while you're throwing them in there, I'm just going to throw in the freebie games that are out at the moment with the Epic Store.
Yeah, cool. Go for it. Yeah.
So you've currently got free now until December the 9th is Dead by Daylight.
Oh, cool.
There's an also free at the moment now again until the 9th of December called Wild True Learn. Can't say I know what that is, but anyway.
Sounds like a fantastic game.
Coming up after that, we've got a Godfall Challenger Edition, and we've got Prisoner Architect.
Oh yes.
So that's not too bad.
So
Prisoner
Architect 2, I think, is actually part of the Games with Gold, I think, on Xbox at the minute.
Oh, cool. There is also on the Rainbow Six Siege trial weekend this weekend as well,
nice.
if anyone's interested, 2nd to the 6th of December. Moving on as well, you've got Prime Gaming, so anyone who's got Amazon Prime account gets access to most of this stuff as well. You can have Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered
Hot Pursuit
edition for free. Hot Pursuit. You can have Football Manager 2021 for free. Frostpunk full game for PC. Journey to the Savage Planet. That's the main titles. There's a couple of others on there as well. Actually, they've actually got Chapter 1 all the way up to Chapter 5 of Tales of Monkey Island.
Oh, brilliant! Brilliant.
Monkey Island was always a good game, and I knew you'd like that, so that's why I've kind of brought that up.
I love me point and clicks.
So yeah, there's a bunch of games on there that are out at the moment, which is great. The other stuff they've got is kind of irrelevant, but it's all good.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
Which is cool. You got more news? I've got
just very quickly. Yes, I just want to point out that Dauntless has now been remastered and is now out for Series X and S. So that was a pretty decent game. I do quite like that. Might look better on the new console, so I'll give that a go. And the next one is a game that's just been released called Let's Sing 2022. Now, if you remember I can't remember what the old Lips. Remember Lips? So it's very much like that. So when you're singing, you get the little grid that goes from right to left. So as you're reading it and singing along with it, the little bars go up and down, so you have to hit the pitches. You can use, as far as I'm aware, you can use a USB mic, but if you don't have that, you can use your headset or even your mobile phone. So you can turn your mobile phone into a microphone.
Awesome. That's getting Craig over the Christmas break to sing Britney Spears on it or something.
Oh, mate, I'm all for Justin Bieber, mate. All for Justin Bieber. Yeah.
Got the Biebs on. Bit of watermelon.
My little one absolutely loves Justin Bieber. And then we put some on and sent a video to the in-laws, and they turned around and said, "Oh, you should put that on repeat." I said, "I am not having Justin Bieber on fucking repeat in my house." Because he starts crying when he finishes, you see. I'd rather see him cry his eyes out than put Justin Bieber on again. Otherwise, you're going to see a grown man cry.
That is not pretty.
No, it is not indeed. That's all I wanted to add anyway in regard to news. So if you've got anything else to add to that.
I've just got a quick one. So back in 2016,
Fuck me.
yeah, I don't know if you knew this. Xbox confirmed that it at one point had plans to create a thing called the X-Boy, being Xbox's handheld console.
I remember hearing something about a handheld console, but I know it didn't come to fruition. So I don't know if this is the same thing.
It's always been there, and it was meant to be to compete against, the 3DS and the Vita and stuff at the time. And then they basically needed more resources to do that. Obviously, they've put a lot of time and investment into the xCloud gaming and xCloud Game Pass and stuff like this. So basically, the discussion of X-Boy has kind of been brought back a bit.
Right.
But also, in a recent announcement, Razer and Qualcomm are partnering to deliver a unique handheld device. A dev kit of the device was even revealed. Basically, Snapdragon kind of handheld kit, probably similar specs to something like the Steam Deck once that's out. But basically, it's being designed on as an Amazon gaming, not Amazon, sorry, Android gaming platform, but it was with the kind of Xbox cloud gaming in mind.
Yeah.
So
Just to add to that, if and when the Steam Deck comes out.
yeah, with all that sort of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
If that, I mean,
so
sorry, go on.
I saw a recent post that I thought was pretty funny about Battlefield
Right.
2042, where technical issues and bugs and stuff have been a thing, but they're all generally game-breaking bugs are annoying. But there was a bit of a video of when you finish a game or a round or whatever, and it shows like the best squad.
Right.
Instead of showing a best squad, it just showed basically an empty helicopter.
Right.
And literally named it underneath as like best squad. It was just this empty helicopter.
Fucking hell. They're playing that bad.
Well, yeah, probably. But I just thought that was pretty funny that it was like that. Yeah, best squad is a helicopter. You can't make this stuff up. It was literally a helicopter blowing up.
Right. So, have you got any more news to add in there?
No, I think we're good.
Right.
Good. We can move on.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly turn this upside down on its head a little bit. So I'm gonna kind of mention the games I've played now, and then we can move into VR. I think I'm gonna do it this way around. So, as you know, I played Halo Infinite. Bearing in mind this is in the last 2 weeks now. Played New World. I've even jumped back into, you might be surprised at this one if you've not seen the notes, Apex Legends. I've been having a go on that. Purely just because I wanted to play a what's it called?
A Royale.
Like a battle royale game. Battlefield was peeing me off a little bit at that point in time.
You should be playing that one where the what's it called? The one that when they turn into chickens.
I know, but I need you there for that one. That's our game.
We were good at that. We were good at that.
Yeah. So I had a little go in Apex Legends just because I fancied something kind of Call of Duty-esque, like fast-paced.
Okay.
Did
you get your ass handed to you? Did you?
No, I actually had a couple of good games on it, to be honest with you. To say I haven't played it for quite some time. I've been playing also Minecraft Dungeons with my daughter.
Cool.
Bit of cross-play. She was on her Switch and I was on the Xbox. And the other game I've been playing is it's an isometric game. And it's called The Lost Gods. Which is very, very good. I think you'll like it. You've got your different abilities and stuff you can equip, get points and so on and so forth. That basically Diablo type of thing.
Okay.
So I think you should have a go at that one. Just to add to that, that's a DLC for Immortal Fenyx Rising. No, so
he had to slide it in like that, didn't he?
So I finished Immortal Fenyx Rising finally. There's 3 DLCs. I finished 2 of them. I'm on to the final one. The final one though is, my God, it turns the game upside down. So in the point of what you're used to playing, kind of this new style Zelda, behind the player, moving around 3D world, it has now gone top-down isometric, Diablo-esque. It's just totally nutty. It's still got all the same,
mechanics in it, but just
but it honestly
different view.
In a way, yeah. It makes you kind of do different things to earn different abilities this time now, and you've got to put the points on your abilities yourself, to go down different trees and stuff like that. And it does feel really good, and feels like a fresh new game. So
cool.
I'll get through that, Mike, don't worry. And then once I finish that, that's it all done, and then I'll never have to talk about it ever again.
That's cool. That's cool.
But yeah, that's me. That's me playing. That's all I've played.
I played a little bit more New World. Trying to grind on with that. Once you get past 30 and trying to get to 60, it's like nightmare. just slow, grindy. But it is what it is. Oh, on that topic, I did actually have a news topic on that, but it was just to say that you can have 100 people in a company.
In what? New
New World.
World. Yeah.
One of the servers, one company owns the entire of the server.
Jesus.
Owns
Yeah,
all
but
of the.
we could have done that though on the that server where basically everyone left bar like probably 100 people. We could have just took it all out.
Took it over, probably.
Yeah.
Server's going strong now, so it's not so bad. And also they've banned like a lot of bots and some other stuff and stuff like that. So they're getting on with it, but hopefully they can pull the finger out and give more to more people.
Quickly on the note of New World. So I haven't been on for a little bit because of other things and whatnot. But
Because you're playing Fenyx Rising, that's why.
I hadn't been because I'd just been playing it late at night. But yeah, I kind of lost my way with it a little bit because I was just sick of fetch quests.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I think that everyone said the same thing. The core mechanics in the game are there, and it makes it a good game. But you are rinse and repeating. And to be fair, once you get up to like I said, once you get up to like 30 foot, well, not even 30, but 35, 40, it gets worse.
Oh, fucking hell! I'm at like 32, I think.
It gets worse because you are just consistently doing the same thing. It doesn't feel any different.
Yeah.
You just feel like you're doing the same over and over again. And one of the things that I was speaking of our other friend Will that we play with as well, he a lot of the game chat and stuff, or a lot of the company chat as well, which is like the clan or guilds in within New World. They're all talking about going to do like elite farming or going to do this PvP battling or whatever like that, and because you're not 60, you just can't do it.
Yeah.
Just makes it a bit stupid, but never mind. Yeah, I've been playing that. I played a little bit more of RiftBreaker. I kind of want to hold back on that a little bit because they are going to bring out co-op at some point. I think me and you would enjoy that together.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So I don't want to burn out on it before we get the chance to play it together, because I think that would open up quite a lot. And I've been playing a bit more on my VR headset and stuff as well. Now that Caitlin's not being attached to me and stuff like that makes that a lot easier.
Cool.
So I did buy Half-Life Alyx,
Have you played it yet?
I have briefly played it, and I'll say briefly played it because it took me about an hour and a half to get it working properly.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
We can bring that up in the VR discussion.
Right. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll pop that on the end because I have got a bit there asking about some games. So I'll make a note so I remember.
Cool. Let's move on. VR.
Yep.
I play VR. I have a VR headset. I've had it for a while. So I think Craig's way to attack me.
Yeah, so I am possibly moving into the world of VR, and I'm going to have a little go into this. For those, obviously, it's coming up Christmas. I think a lot of people are getting them. It seems to be kind of one of the major buys this Christmas.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So for anybody new coming into VR, this will probably be a good little section, I suppose, for you.
Yeah.
So
and to be fair on that, if you like gaming and you're not considering one, you're potentially missing out. In my opinion.
I've heard a lot of things about people saying that once you go in, like that's it.
It's completely different.
Yeah, once you go balls deep into VR, that's it. You ain't come back out.
It does. The immersiveness is ridiculous. It is very different. It doesn't play the same. You don't play games the same way as you play other games because obviously the control pads and stuff like this. But I just if you don't have one, find a friend that's got one and give it a go.
Yeah. Let's move into it then. So I've got a few questions for you. So this is probably questions that I want to know. Some of them I already know, but I've asked you, but I think it's good for other people to know, and then others maybe that everyone wants to know as well. So
fair enough.
Like I said before we started recording, I know Mike goes off on a tangent, so yeah. Answer
It's
questions,
called passion.
but
It's
don't.
called passion, mate.
Not an hour per question, otherwise we ain't getting out through this.
No, I
So
won't go into detail. If we need any more detail, people can comment, and I'll put more detail in at some point.
yeah, so this is going into entry level here as well. So basically, there's questions. So the first question I've got in here is basically, once you get the Oculus Quest 2, we're just going to use that as an example because that's what you've got. How easy is it then to set up and initially getting into a game?
With the Quest 2 specifically, very quick.
Right.
I would probably say within half an hour you could have it completely set up,
Right.
kind of familiar with it, and probably a game downloaded and be playing.
Yeah. So I've
It
seen...
is linked to your It is linked to your Facebook account. Apparently it doesn't have to be anymore.
Right, yeah, that was going to be one of the questions I was going to ask because I know it is with Facebook. Actually, it was the next one. I've put here, do I need a Facebook account? Now, I know that, or as far as I'm aware and what I've seen, is you do not need a Facebook account anymore. I don't know how easy that is. I don't, because I haven't seen the setup. I don't know whether it's kind of like in your face of like log into Facebook or whatever. How.
I believe that because when you first log in, you create an Oculus account
Right.
as part of Facebook,
Right.
right? And then you put basically put your Facebook details in. You know, like the sign in as
Yes.
kind of
Correct.
scenarios. It's kind of like that, and then that headset's linked to that Oculus account and that Facebook account. If you bearing in mind, I say linked. It's linked. It doesn't mean indefinitely.
Yeah.
If you remove the account from that headset, you can sell it to someone else, or you can buy a second-hand one. It's not a problem. I believe at the moment that you can just sign up to an Oculus account,
right,
rather than Facebook, and you don't have to have your Facebook one attached.
Because this goes on to my next question. You see, of like, if you have to have a Facebook account, bearing in mind you have to be of the age of, I think 12, possibly 15, to have a Facebook account. And if that's the case, then how child friendly is kind of having Oculus? Is the games on there for children? Is it, if the fact you've got to have a Facebook account, like how, but you can't have a Facebook account because you're not old enough, that type of thing.
I believe there's parental control stuff.
Right.
So you can actually have a parent. You can have a parent Facebook account.
Right. That's good.
And you could let your kid use it, but in like parental mode. So you can limit what people are actually, being able to look at or play.
So pretty similar to like the Xbox, where I've got an account, but I've set one up for Miles. But I get a report every now and then to say how long he's been playing. You can limit him. You can turn it off if he's on just from your phone and stuff like that. That type of thing, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know the full extent. I'd have to look into it, but I believe that's pretty much the way that you can do it.
Right, cool. Next one is the battery life on the Oculus. How well does it hold up? I mean, I'm thinking from if you've got on full charge and you leave it on, I know you can turn it off, but if you were to charge it up full, put it on one side and not play it for a bit, also the battery life during play, what's it kind of like in those two scenarios?
Okay, that's fair enough. I would say, personally, I think the battery life is pretty fair.
Yeah.
Basically, because if they try to increase it, then they would put a lot more weight on the front of your head, which is not the best. The thing you're saying about if you put it down, there's two kind of caveats with that. Within the Oculus, when you're in a game, generally you're in this thing called the Guardian, which is like an area that you've designated to play in 3D space. So it's kind of an area in your living room or whatever. When you come out of that area, the game effectively stops.
Right.
And then you can put your headset down, right? And when you come out of that area, you can see the real world in a kind of night vision mode, which is using the cameras on the Oculus, and it's basically to let you be able to see where you're going to put your headset down and everything else, right? If you just walk out of the Guardian and put your headset down, your battery life is probably going to last a couple of hours at best, because that game is still being played.
You can turn it off though, can't you?
Yeah. So, and what I mean by that is there's two. Well, there's two things. If the game's still being played, running, then it will kill your battery life pretty quickly.
Yes.
Even though it goes into like a sleep mode. So as soon as you take your headset off,
Yeah.
the Oculus detects that and then puts it into sleep mode.
Right.
And sleep mode does obviously benefit you in the sense that it's not now using a lot of power. When you pick it back up and put it back on your head, it then kicks back in again. You can walk back into your area and you can continue.
Right.
So it makes it quite good for, if
you just need to nip somewhere, do something, and it ends up being a
nip
bit
someone, go to the
longer,
toilet, or someone knocks at the door or whatever, you can literally whip it off, put it down. It'll just go into sleep mode for you. You can go away, come back, whip it back on, and you carry on playing again. It's not a big deal. It's something to remember that it does that though, because like you're saying, if you put it down and left it for half a day, when you go back to it, it's not going to be on anymore.
Right.
You can hold the power button down and it will fully shut it off. And then obviously it'll just have whatever battery life it did when you turned it off.
Right, fair enough. This moves on then to are you able to charge it while you're playing?
So yeah, there's a couple of things with this. Obviously with the Oculus you can connect it to a PC.
Yeah.
Which is obviously another way of gaming. In turn of that, that will charge your headset.
Right.
The other thing that a lot of people do is they will buy a power pack of some sort, like a battery bank. You can buy ones that attach to the back of your headset, which is actually quite a good counterbalance. It's not bad. And then again, it just plugs in the side. So the connector at the side is a Type C. Battery banks will charge it. Put them in the back. If you've got a standard battery bank, you could just stick it in your back pocket.
Yeah.
As long as you've got a cable.
I have seen the Elite strap. You can actually buy an Elite strap now for them that has and holds a battery pack as well. It comes built into it.
Yeah.
But I've not heard good things about the Elite strap. So, but we can move on to
Yeah,
that in a bit if you want.
Yeah.
I've got
in
a
my
bit about
opinion,
accessories. So.
yeah, in my opinion, if you're gonna have like a gaming session with a couple of people around or something, and you don't use a battery pack or anything, you're probably gonna kill it in a couple of hours.
Yeah, and that as we know, as any gamer knows, that when you go on a game and you're like, oh, I'll just have 10 minutes. 10 minutes is easy an hour.
Yeah, it is pretty good at warning you.
Yeah,
that your battery's getting lower, which is good. But I would say that probably having a battery pack, or at least remembering to plug it in or something when you're not using it, even if you're just taking a half an hour break, that could make a big difference. So.
Yeah. The next thing I want to move on to, which I actually know the answer to this question, but I think it's good for those to know. So, it's player space. So if you have a small room or you have TVs mounted on the wall, as I do, and you're playing in those areas, if you want to kind of explain the whole, mapping out your room and type of stuff, and what it does.
Yes, I briefly touched on it before. It's called the Guardian. You can play without the Guardian or with the Guardian. And what the Guardian does is puts a virtual reality 3D boundary around the area that you're playing in. And the idea of this is there's two versions of it. There's simply a circle, which is just a predefined circle, and you can stick that around you. Or you can map your own one out. And what I mean by that is, once you've got the headset on, it'll ask you about Guardian, and you can basically look around your room with the cameras, and you can draw on the floor around the space that is the desired space you wish to play. And the reason for doing this is once you've done it, it'll give you a grid system that's like in front of you and around you. That'll disappear, and then you'll be entered into the world. If you go close to that edge, that boundary, it will be highlighted and it'll go red when you get too close to it. And that's the idea of that, is just to show that you are a way to leave the boundary and potentially hit a wall or hit a TV or something else along that kind of ilk. There is a couple of features in it that I'll just point out, or some suggestions. One is you can change how quickly it reacts. So when you get close to it, how quickly it'll appear. Turning that up on a fast-paced game is probably a good idea. Otherwise, you're going to punch through it before it even tells you. And the other thing I would say is if you do have TVs or windows or walls, leave a bit of a space between
Yeah,
the Guardian and the wall.
don't
Don't
put
put
it
it
up
right
to
up
it.
to the wall because you're gonna follow through. If you're playing, punching game or any real, sports game or anything like that, it's very tendency to get a bit turned around in the space. So you might be thinking you're facing the right way and you're not. Your wall's on your right. But you never know in those games. You might end up facing the wall, and then you got to throw a punch and you end up punching the wall. So,
Yeah, that makes
but
sense.
it is there.
It's
It's really useful.
possible.
I think it's really cool.
It's possibly good to get the headset on when you're in Guardian mode and probably walk with your hands, I would say, kind of out front of you, and then take a couple of steps and like feel around so you know that where your feet are at that point, you don't want to be any further than that, do you, really, realistically? So you draw your line
Yeah,
at your feet at that point. That's where your hands will go through that, and you will, even if your hands go through it, you're not going to hit it. It just means that you can't step beyond that at that point.
yeah.
So that would be a
Yeah.
good,
Kind of experiment it a bit. Just don't max out your space.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Bring
yeah.
it back a little bit
There,
and
there's
go
no
around.
there's no need to be fair.
No.
Right. The next thing is loading games onto a headset. I want to kind of add a little bit onto this. So what we did realise, or what I've only just realised as well, is I told Mike that I've bought a couple of games via the Oculus Store. Mike said, just be a bit careful because if you were buying it on Oculus Store, some of them you do need a PC for it. Now, what I've realised is, sorry, I think I've jumped around a bit here, but anyway, this question was, do I need a PC? But it's
I think you should answer that question first, to be fair, because I don't think everyone realizes. So,
but it all comes hand in hand. So what I was kind of saying is that if you've got, I've done everything through the Oculus app on mobile phone, and what I've realised is that only the games on the Oculus app on the mobile phone are those that would load onto your headset. So therefore, you would not need a PC.
yeah, but the reason why I say is to discuss it slightly differently is because, okay, the Oculus can do that,
Yes.
but other headsets can't do that.
Yes. So yeah.
So, like an Oculus Rift or an
Yeah.
Index, for let's say, they are PC based only. So you
So you
have to
need
have a PC,
a big motherfucking
and
lead.
you have to have a PC. You don't necessarily have to have a lead. There is Oculus Link, which is over Wi-Fi. But you basically what you're doing there is your PC is running the game,
Yeah.
and then your headset is the thing that's just visually showing it, basically like a monitor. And obviously your controllers and stuff are doing things as well. In that scenario, you can buy games from Oculus still. There is games that are PC versions. The reason why I say that is because a very famous game is Beat Saber. Beat Saber you can buy on the PC, and Beat Saber you can buy just on an Oculus.
Yeah.
And if you buy the PC one but don't own a PC, you can't play the other one. You're gonna have to buy it twice.
Yeah.
So something to be a bit wary out. But yeah, like Craig was just pointing out, on the Oculus Store, on the PC, if you do use a PC and you do connect it to a PC, there is an Oculus Store on the PC. But the Oculus Store on the PC will show you PC games and games that can be installed just directly on your headset, including Steam and other stuff as well that you can use.
Yeah. Whereas the Android app, or I'm assuming iPhone, I don't know, that basically.
I'm presuming, yeah.
Yeah, with those, basically, it looks as though on those, it's like they're almost assuming you don't have a PC, therefore that's why you've done it on the mobile phone. So
I think if you're not looking on a PC, if you're looking anywhere else, it's going to be only stuff that can be installed directly onto your Oculus. And obviously that definitely applies if you've got the headset on and you're in the store. And you're buying something.
So any Steam games or anything like that, you cannot load onto the headset.
Yes, correct.
Right.
I will make a pointer on the Steam stuff as well. Is that most of the VR titles within Steam will label VR compatible with the Rift, the Index, and the Microsoft stuff. It doesn't actually say the Oculus Quest.
Yeah.
It doesn't say the Oculus Quest or Oculus Quest 2. That's actually not true. Like it is completely
I think
compatible
I
with
think
these
all
things.
VR games are, 'cause even the PS VR one, even the is it PSVR, is it like PlayStation VR?
Yeah,
All those,
PlayStation.
a lot
Yeah.
of those are compatible with it as well.
Yeah, because again, you're not really using the PC. You're not using the headset as much. You're using the PC more so than anything else.
Yeah. So that you mentioned earlier on as well about having to have a lead and stuff. So then, just the Oculus alone, just talking about that, do you need to have a lead in order to play games on your PC, or, and as you said earlier on, there's a, a link
Yeah.
app or
So
something.
on this topic, so if you've gone on the Oculus, put your headset on, gone on the Oculus Store and bought like Beat Saber or something like that, and it's being installed directly on your headset. This means you've got complete free movement. You can, have a big play space. You don't need a lead connected. You don't need anything connected. It's good. It's a really good way of doing it. It's obviously very good that if you take that to a friend's house, it's making it very portable. You've got all your games actually stored on the headset. You can play whatever. As we're testament to that. I brought it down and Greg had to go over it and stuff, and could play those sort of games. Now, if you've bought PC games, that's not the same. If you've bought them on the PC and your PC is going to have to play them, then therefore you need your PC to play them for you. There's two ways you can do this. One is you can connect a cable. You can buy the Oculus Link cable, which is very expensive, or you can buy a third-party cable, either USB-C to USB-C, depending on what PC you've got, or you can do USB-A to USB-C. The recommended length is 5 meters,
Yeah,
because obviously you need a bit of space, you need a bit of distance. This cable will trail down the back of your neck, down the back of you
yeah.
while you're
You
playing.
you can attach it usually to the headset strap,
You can
depending on what you
attach
have
it
on
to the
there.
strap, but it will still obviously dangle
Yes,
down
yes,
the
but it's
back
to
and
stop
on the
it
floor.
from like getting caught
Yeah,
on you, around here.
yeah. The only point out with that is whatever cable you get, you really want it to be um, at least one end to be a 90-degree connector,
Yeah,
because when it goes into your Oculus headset, you want it to be at an angle. I know I can't see this on other people's things, but it connects into here.
yeah.
You actually want it
So
to connect and go back the way.
I don't know how easy this is to see. So I actually noted down there was a lead that I found on. It's currently unavailable, so that's how popular it's been. I don't know if you can quite see that because of the blur.
All right, yeah, yeah.
Go on. So you can see it kicking in and out, but it's got a 90-degree angle on that. It's 5 meters. It was $14.99. USB 3 fast, high speed.
Yeah,
Thing.
USB 3 or USB 3.1 are like recommended.
Yeah,
We'll give you a little bit of a hint though. When you do buy the cable and plug it in, the Oculus app on the PC will do a cable test and
yeah,
test your cable for you and tell you whether it's okay. But yeah, as you can see, here's my end of mine, and it clearly plugs into here. Usually speaking, you get a little strap thing, and you can strap this to the edge here, and then you don't really feel it down the back here and stuff like that. So it's not too
that's cool.
bad. With it being version 3, obviously that's going to power and push the game to the headset, so it'll keep it powered. So that is a benefit because it's going to power it up and keep it powered, so you can play a lot longer if you've got it connected via the cable. Now, you can do exactly the same thing using what's called Oculus Link, which is wireless link. That has to be on a 5G network on your router, which we've obviously talked about in previous things about splitting them up, make sure on a 5G network. I've given it a go. I've tried it. It's pretty good. Works pretty well. Can't really complain, to be fair. Obviously, you're not being powered anymore,
Yeah,
unless you've got a battery backup pack or something like that to keep it going. But yeah, you can do it that way as well. That would obviously give you a bigger play space or something like that if you
yeah.
needed it.
So the other thing, moving on kind of from kind of Oculus Link and stuff like that, and what we've talked about more recently is Xbox Cloud. Now, is it possible, or do you know of it being possible to play Xbox games on the Oculus 2 via Xbox Cloud? Because in my head, I can't see there being
Uh,
an issue doing it if you've got some sort of web browser thing, or whether there's an app that is able to
Okay.
load on.
You a little bit of I get where you're coming from. If you wanted to play a Xbox game like it was on a TV, but
Yeah.
in the VR world, then yes, I think there's probably a couple of ways you could probably do it. I don't know about an app directly being able to do it, but there's lots of ways that you can use a web browser, or you could probably sideload the Xbox app and get it to work that way.
I think
And
I've
then have
seen
a
something
pad.
about side loading the Xbox app, but
Yeah, that would
don't
work.
quote me on
That
that. Yeah,
that would be probably my way of doing it.
because it's
Um,
Android, because it powers on Android, because that is some sort of
yeah, if
Android.
anyone's ever used like a side loading was a thing that was kind of noticed upon with Amazon Fire Sticks and stuff originally. But basically, all it means is that there's an option within your headset that lets you install stuff from third-party sources. So not necessarily from the store. Now, this is not a bad thing. This is a really good thing,
Can I
and
just
not
add? Can I
particularly.
also just add? It's not an illegal thing,
No, it's not an illegal thing.
because it does
It's
sound like
not an.
pretty
It,
scary to people
yeah,
and
yeah.
daunting.
To side load something, all you're doing is putting something on the headset that Facebook or Oculus are saying isn't something they've checked.
Yeah,
That's all they're saying. That's it.
you
They're not
do it at
saying
your
anything
own
else.
risk, basically.
Yeah, basically do it at your own risk. Yeah, and by risk, that comes with a caveat, because if there's another company that are saying that it's fine to do it and it won't break your headset, then the risk isn't really there because they're saying it's fine. And a good kind of point on this one is there is a website called SideQuest, which has a lot of third-party games that didn't get onto the Oculus Store,
Yeah,
and there's paid for ones, there's free ones. These are all side-loaded games, and a lot of them are really good, really great. There's one called Gorilla Tag, which is meant to be mental.
so is this side quest
Um,
installer, is it? Because you
the
can get an app
SideQuest installer
for your
app that
Android.
you can get,
Yeah.
and you can go to the website and download them and install them directly with your
Yeah.
headset plugged in if you want to do it that way. There's a couple of ways of doing
Yeah.
it. So yes, you could play. I think using that method, you could probably install the Xbox app, and you could play them, on a screen, right? But you're not playing those games VR.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able, even if they were VR compatible,
Yeah. No, I understand
you
that.
wouldn't
Yeah.
be playing them in a VR world. You'd be playing them on a screen in a VR world. Yeah.
Yeah.
But thingy does have Bluetooth, so you probably be able to connect your pad up to your Oculus
Right.
directly as well. I know some people have done that with other things before. You can do if you get a mouse and keyboard that's Bluetooth, you can connect them directly to your headset as well.
Right. Cool.
That's a couple of good stuff. Actually, one point on that which I thought was really interesting, because some people use the Oculus for like work, putting
Hmm.
multiple screens on. You can put like 50 million screens all the way around your head and all this stuff for doing work. You can have a screen the size of your living room if you wanted, and walk up to it. One of the things that someone pointed out, that if you have a Bluetooth headset that doesn't use a dongle, it's just Bluetooth natively. If you connect that to your headset, the actual keyboard will appear in 3D space.
Right.
You can see it. You can physically see it and type
That's
on it,
cool.
which is
Yeah.
cool.
So the other thing I kind of wanted to point out for people, there's a few things I want to kind of point out to people as well. Is Oculus Quest has I had the freaking word in my head and I forgot what it was now. It's not VR, when it's like an augmented reality type thing. So with your fingers. So what they've put in there, and there's not a lot of things that use it at the minute. You can actually not use the controllers, and you can use your hands, so you can see your fingers in
Yeah,
in this VR world, and you can move things, manipulate things, and you've got individual finger movement rather than whatever the buttons tell you to do on the joysticks of the Oculus. Now
yeah, and
in doing that, obviously they actually are now creating more of these different apps and different things you can do, and it helps for things in kind of the workplace and stuff like that.
yeah. I mean, they call it hand tracking.
Yeah.
There is, like you say, there is specific games where you can like go pick up blocks and objects and stuff. You don't need a controller in your hand. Like you're saying, you can pick them up and throw them and do all kinds of good stuff with them. That's pretty cool. It's neat to see. And like you say, you can actually physically see your hands.
Yeah.
They're like an outline of your hand, but you can see them. I will say that they do actually use it in games, even when you've got a controller.
Right.
And the reason why I say that is because when you've got a controller in your hand, he's one of mine. The game does pick up whether you've actually taken your finger away from any of these buttons. So if you lift your finger up, this will happen in the game. It will see this, and this is so you can press buttons in the game. So if you wanted to press like a button in an elevator or whatever, you can actually press it with your finger rather than press a button to press it, which makes it even more immersive, which is really good.
Yeah, but I know there's been a recent update recently taking you from, was it 60 hertz up to 90? You can choose between 90 and 120 hertz now or something like that.
So 72 hertz was the minimum before.
Was it 72, right?
Yeah, you can pick 72, 80, 90. If you want to go to 120, you obviously have to be in a game that's supporting it, and you have to enable that in the experimental options.
Not anymore. Not anymore. You don't. So now natively it's up to the latest update. Now natively it goes up to 120 if the game allows for it. It automatically puts it to 100 to the best. You know, I think you can change it in your options. I know you're saying in the developer mode, but I think it's changed now because they've allowed for that to happen and allowed you to do that. It was initially a safety feature. They were throttling it to stop it from overheating or something like that and burning out your power. But now they've allowed it. So
it is an interesting one because 120 hertz refresh rate on a game that's being played directly from your headset is going to be very well optimized. If you're trying to play a game playing from your PC like Half-Life Alyx at 120 hertz, your PC better be pretty good.
Yeah. So the couple of things I kind of want to note that we haven't. I've got more questions, but there's a couple of things I want to note that I haven't touched on that I think is pretty good for people that know. So I wear glasses, Mike, you wear glasses. People who, when you get the headset, people were asking things about glasses and stuff like that. Now I know when you buy the headset, you get a little spacer that you can put, and what that does, that one there, if you can see that, is it just knocks a couple of few mil, basically adds that between your eyes and the lenses.
I know people can't particularly see that are watching on the podcast, but your kind of visor bit, your protective bit that goes against your face. This quite easily pops off.
Yeah, a lot of people are actually saying just to put it on anyway.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I think the gap it gives you between the lenses in your eyes is actually quite good.
Yeah.
And probably get less eye strain and stuff by having that.
So people are saying put that on anyway. So I wanted to kind of point that out. I also want to point out that you should not be playing on your headset outside if you can help it. If you do play on it outside, it's not that you can't, it's that you should not expose your lenses to sunlight. Because basically, if you've ever put a magnifying glass under a sun, or if you've ever seen Toy Story, you will know that the sun, it burns, it magnifies the sunlight, and it can burn the components inside the Oculus.
Yeah. So this that you're talking about, they say don't use it outside. You obviously can if you've got the headset on, you're playing. That's fine, but obviously it doesn't like getting wet and all this kind of good stuff anyway. So just be careful where you're doing it.
Don't expose it to direct sunlight on the lenses.
The don't expose it to direct sunlight is when you put this down, even in your house.
Yeah.
Do not put this facing sunlight.
So like what I would recommend, which is what we'll be coming on to a bit later on, is accessories. You can buy, and it'll cost you literally £3 or £4. Some little lens covers, little rubber lens covers that goes over the top of the lenses, which which is going on to my next point of try to avoid scratching the lenses. Once you scratch them, you can, it can basically turn your Oculus into a nice paperweight, basically. But I have seen there's a gel thing you can get and buff out scratches. But
you can buff them out. You can fix them.
Yeah,
it is a bit of a DIY trick to do it, and obviously not for the faint-hearted by people. To be fair, if you're a glasses wearer, you will treat these like glasses and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
if you're not a glasses wearer, treat them like glasses, and you'll be fine. Just be careful. Just look after them. Don't touch them. Don't get fingerprints on them. You know, if you're going to clean them, get a glasses cleaner case.
Yeah, there's
cloth
I think
clean
with the
them.
Oculus when you first buy it, I think you get a microfiber cloth with it, so keep
You
that
do get a
handy.
cloth in the box. Yeah, please use that to clean them. The only time that you should be really touching these things is when you're adjusting the pitch on the inside, the gap in between, depending on your eyes.
Yeah.
You can adjust this. But you should be doing this in setup, and then you should not really be doing it again. But yeah, just be careful. That is probably the most vulnerable part of the headset.
Yeah. So moving on is recommended accessories. So we've mentioned the lens covers there, which I think is a good point. Is there any others you would recommend? I know we've had this discussion kind of already, but for anyone else listening or watching, can you think of anything you could recommend?
The only real one, obviously the cable. I think the cable and linking it up is a good thing. I think, to be fair, even buying a long 5-meter cable, USB-C, and then you can buy an actual, wall plug that is a USB-C. You can actually effectively charge it while playing all the time, but you're plugged in. But it's fine. The other thing that I would say is a good idea. I haven't put mine on yet, but I have one of these, which is a bit for the back.
Yeah. Have you just
Goes
got
on the
that new, have
current.
you, or
Yeah, I've literally just got this.
that's the same one I got, isn't it?
I think it is probably the
Yeah.
exact same one. Yeah. But this is, give you more stability on the back of the headset,
Yeah.
make it a bit more comfortable. I personally, I think that's a good idea. I think some sort of battery pack is probably a good idea.
Yeah.
You get a short cable in the you only get like a 1-meter cable or something in your actual box, so that's a good cable to use with a battery pack.
What I would say to people, from what I would read reviews about the Elite head, the support thing, because the reviews are, although they're very good, you'll find that none of them last beyond 6 months. There seems to be a very big issue with this snapping. There's a bit of plastic that goes down either side that seems to snap. Doesn't matter how much care you take of it.
The problem is with them is that they use this kind of method where it's like a twist. So you stick it on your head and then you twist to generate pressure.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps it in place.
But it's plastic.
These
and
things.
The break.
Yeah. Well, you're putting pressure on that specific thing. Yeah. These things, the pressure is just built into like the elastic.
Yeah.
So it's how tight you're pulling the elastic. These things are, this is very durable. This is pretty good. They are, very easy to replace.
Yeah.
If there's a problem with them, you can just pop them off.
Because what you want to be doing is the tightness wants to be on the top of your head, not the sides. That's what I'm reading. So the support on the back it doesn't make you want to kind of tighten the sides more. It makes you want to tighten the top more. And then what that stops is you're getting like this strain around your eyes where like the headset's pushing against your head. So it helps with that aspect.
Yeah,
of things.
people are generally The thing you need to put it on. You almost need 2 people when you're first putting it on, in my opinion, because you need to put it on and you need to really hold it in a position that's comfortable, but while you're looking at some text in a game or like on the menu, because it will blur as you're moving it around. Get it set up, get it in a position that you feel comfortable with. Yeah, and like you say, tighten the straps on the back just so you feel it like a little bit of tension, and then the top one is the one that you're going to pull, and that's the one that's actually taking the weight of the headset off you, and you want to make sure that that's pretty well in place, and that's going to keep the actual headset in the right level of your eye line, and stop it from being blurry when you start to move it around.
Yeah. The other bit I was going to mention is, if you can show people, sorry for those that can't see this, but around the eyes, the game comes, sorry, the Oculus comes as like a foam around the eyes. Now, what I've read and people are recommending
does it come with a foam still now?
It's a foam. Yeah. So what people are recommending is you buy the covers that go with it.
The only reason why I ask that is because my Oculus was brought out when this foam was reported as being a bit dodgy and was giving some people some skin irritations.
Yeah.
So mine actually has a rubber cover.
Right.
Literally goes over the foam.
Did you bought yours second hand though, didn't you?
I bought mine second hand.
Did it not come with it on? Because
No,
somebody's
so
had
look,
it previously, or
no,
yeah,
so the
because
foam
that's
it came
the foam. That's how it comes now.
it came with the foam, but the foam that was on the original ones was irritating people's face.
Yeah, and they're still doing it with foam, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, so they must have put a different foam on it. But like you're saying, with the cover,
Yeah.
you can actually just get these covers for like a couple of quid, and they just go over the top of the foam.
Yeah. And
And
it's
really,
just
it's really good.
supposed to reduce a bit of sweating, and because if you do sweat as well, obviously you're sweating into the foam. The foam's then sorting it up. It's going to stink. It's so it's a bit unhygienic
it's
as well as
pretty bad.
irritation. Obviously, because then it starts to like get hardened, and yeah, it's going to be manky.
Yeah, it's not particularly nice. I've had my rubber version of it for a while now, and it's way more comfortable, and feels so much better than the original foam.
There's two more things I've seen that I think might be quite a good accessory. So the controllers you get you can get the rubber covers that go over the top of the controllers. So if you knock them together or anything like that, you're not smacking plastic against plastic. There's a bit of rubber between them. That looks like a pretty decent little accessory there. And also, one of the ones I'm going to keep my eye on is the docking station, where you can just drop your controllers. Yeah, and your headset straight on that. So you'll get your controllers comes with rechargeable batteries, so you can just put them in the controllers and drop that straight on there, and that'll charge it all up for you. Plus, it's probably a good little place to, dock it up and leave it if you want to, if you haven't got a case, or I suppose a case as well is probably another good shout.
Yeah, one of the other things actually, I've not done this, but I've been looking at other people doing it, and I think it's probably a good idea.
Is this the hand, the bit?
Yeah, this comes like this bit, like your Nintendo Wii's and stuff. You stick it around your wrist, and then tie it on, right, for this dangle effect, right, which is actually quite annoying and quite bad when you're trying to put stuff down, because you're gonna drop this down and hit stuff, or swinging them about. The kind of recommended thing to do is that if you take your battery cover off, you can pop these out.
Yeah.
And the idea is that you just loop it round the top of your controller like this.
Yeah.
And then plug this back in, if I can.
And then you can like hands, you can set your hands free, can't you? Like your fingers, and it won't fall off then, will it?
Yeah, it makes it a bit more like
a grip, like
makes it a bit more like a glove. So now, it's wrapped around here.
Yeah. The problem with that is if you've got big fat hands like me, you've got no chance. But they do sell things that on Amazon for a few quid that will give you that same effect if needs be.
Yeah, it's probably something to look at. You can buy grips and stuff. There's some good grips that do the same thing, but like I say, I've not particularly tried it, but I think it's probably a good way of doing it, to be fair.
Yeah. Moving on. How do you think the Oculus then compares to some of the other headsets, in your opinion? I mean, I don't know if you've done any research. If you're not too sure, then that's fine.
No, in my opinion, I wanted one that, if you want one that can be standalone,
yeah,
that you can play games on it without having it connected to a PC. That was something that I really wanted. You know what I mean? Like, me and you are going to meet up when I come down and see you and stuff. We don't live in the same place, and not all your mates can come to people's houses and stuff like this. In that sense, okay, you could play, online and do it that way and interact that way. But the ability to have more free roam, free space, even in a house, is pretty cool to be able to do that. My house is relatively decent sized, and my living room's quite far away from my PC, so to get a cable to reach that far is nigh on impossible. But I have a lot more space there, and I can use my Quest to like go mental, play some games that require more space. So I think if you're trying to get a standalone one and have that capability, I think the Quest 2 is perfect, because you can do best of both worlds. It's great. If you really like VR and you want to get really immersed into it and you want really good visuals, then you're more looking along the lines of stuff like Rift and Index, but there's other versions of those that are coming out from multiple different companies now.
I think the Rift is
really
going out of
they're stopping making the Rift
Yeah.
Oculus have stopped making the Rift. The new Index. There's the Vive as well.
Yes. Yeah.
These are, pretty good. I would suggest you do if you're going to go down that road and you're just buying it to play it on your PC, you've probably spent quite a bit of money on your PC. So if you're going to buy a really good headset, do a bit of research on that specific headset types that you would like. Some of them require you to put sensors in the rooms to pick you up.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And it gives you more feedback and more information and stuff like that, and makes it more immersive. If that's something you want to do, then great. But I would obviously get the right headset to kind of match your play space and everything else that's going on. But to be fair, I've played with the Quest now, and I really like it. The only thing I could see is that maybe we don't get as many A-list titles
Right.
as quickly as possible, because VR mainstream is a Quest, as a Quest 2, and it's not that powerful.
Yeah, but they have just sold. So sorry to jump in there. So what I was going to say to you next was, with the Oculus 3 around the corner, as it's just been announced. I suppose it's not just around the corner anymore now, because they're saying it won't be until next year. So even then, I think with components shortages and stuff like that, you're probably looking more into 2023 even with that. So what I was going to say is, would you recommend the Oculus 2? And I know for a fact that since announcing the Oculus 3, and it's it's not going to be anytime soon, they've sold 10 million units or something now. So
they've sold loads of them. They can say what they like about Facebook and stuff and their ability to do certain things. They are pushing VR. They want
yeah,
VR, mainly because they want advertising in VR. Fair enough. But they have dramatically reduced the price of VR and made it more of an entry level for people to get into.
yeah,
And I think that opens it up to a lot of people now. It means that a lot more games developers are going to create games for it, because there's so much more of a player base. 10 million people, you make a good game. 10 million sales is nothing to sniff at.
no.
So I think in that sense, it's really good.
I've got two more questions for you. So headset during the play, then, with the sound. I think the sound comes through the headset itself. I mean, would you recommend getting an actual set of earphones, some decent earphones, or is it decently well playable through just the headset alone?
My personal opinion, I actually find it fine.
Right. Is it loud
I
enough? Is it,
find it's beyond loud enough.
Right.
You can turn it up loud enough that people in your house will hear it.
Right.
Not just you. If you want it to be quiet but loud, then I would suggest whacking on a pair of headphones.
Yeah.
Apparently the microphone's okay in it. Apparently there's an issue at the moment where if you're using the link, the microphone doesn't work over the link.
Right.
It's an Oculus update that they're going to fix it in the future, so you might have to use a headset with a microphone of some sort. But in my general opinion, I can't say I've noticed it too badly that it's any problem. I've watched movies on it. I've watched all kinds of stuff on it, and it's great.
Right. Cool. The next question I've got for you then is obviously any recommended games there for anybody new starting out. You can just give a brief overview of a couple in there. I suppose you could drop in Half-Life Alyx, what we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, so I think for me personally, if you've got a decent PC, the PC games are going to be powered by your graphics card of your PC, so therefore the quality of those games are going to be obviously way better in the sense of visuals. So if you want something really immersive and really full on, then yeah, I would probably go down the road of Half-Life Alyx or a game called Boneworks. Really show off the physics and the engine of a VR game way better than some of the other stuff do.
Right.
That being said, if you're just doing it straight on your headset, I think Beat Saber is a game that I wouldn't miss out on. I think it's really good. It's a good workout. The way you play it is very good, and it's a very good entry level game to play because you're not moving around so much. So like motion sickness is a thing with VR and a few other things, so it's quite a good one for that, and it is pretty cheap to buy.
Right.
Just touching on that before we jump off Beat Saber, we talked about third-party things and stuff. There is a way of a mod that you can put on a Beat Saber that allows you to play a lot more other songs than just the ones that are on the Beat Saber.
Oh,
Beat
cool.
Saber song list is terrible. They do have a couple of other albums in there, but it's like, Linkin Park and Green Day have been added, but they're
Skrillex.
$6.99.
That'd be cool.
They're
Yeah.
$6.99 per album, and it's only like 5 songs,
Yeah.
right? Whereas on the modded version, people have created their own playthrough and own maps and all sorts and stuff like that. So it dramatically increases the benefit of playing that game.
Yeah.
So that's cool. If you like your first person shooter games, stuff like this, I would probably jump into a game called Super Hot. You can play it on your PC first if you want. This is like a better time bending game. You have to react and shoot some people and stuff. But only when you do stuff is when time moves, so you can kind of assess the situation and do certain things. That's really cool. One of the other things is the table tennis.
Yeah.
That's
Is it Table Tennis Plus or something like that, or
I
can't remember what it's called now.
no, it's not called that.
Because I've seen, it might be
it's
Golf
called
Golf
11.
Plus.
11.
Yeah, yeah, 11. I think Golf Plus was the one I was thinking of.
So 11's really good. It really feels like you're playing table tennis. It's fab,
Cool.
in that sense. Probably the most immersive game when it comes to something feeling real. I generally feel like if you played that game for long enough and then tried to play table tennis, you would actually be better at table tennis than you were before. Yeah, Golf Plus. If you're a golf player, Golf Plus is now just added in. It used to just be a range and putting. Now they've added in actual courses, not actual
Right.
real courses, but they've added in courses that you can play. That game, you can play it assisted on like non-assisted, and I definitely agree that would make you better at golf once you get good at it.
Right, cool.
Gives you good feedback and information, so that's really cool. There's a mini golf game as well that's really good. Walkabout mini golf. Apparently that's really cool to play. If you want something really immersive and you want to play a game that really gets them on it and you like zombies and stuff, I would say Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is brilliant. Brilliant storyline, really immersive, really cool stuff you can do in it. And then other than that, there's there's a lot after that point, and one of the things I'm probably going to say is that jump on, get the side loader side of things looked at, because there is a lot of free games that you can get installed and kind of check out what you kind of like and what you kind of like playing through. Yeah, I've played RPG games in it now that
Yeah.
were really good. Grabbing my characters and moving around with my hands and stuff. There's lots of RPG games coming out that are in there. The what is it? Asgard's Wrath, which is a PC version of the game. 40 hours worth of gameplay in that game for an RPG.
Cool.
Looks
Is
incredible.
that the one I sent over to you? Was it?
Yeah. That's like a really,
I don't know
really
if you'd looked at it or not, but
PC. It's a PC game, but
yeah, it's meant to be one of the
really
best RPGs or something in VR. What I'd read. So
yeah. And the other thing is there's lots. The PC thing opens up a lot of mods. So there's games coming out now, so you can get like Skyrim VR as a VR game, right? You can get San Andreas, GTA San Andreas is coming out, and that's a VR. But there's mods now, so there's actually a GTA 5 mod for VR.
right.
There's a Red Dead Redemption 2 mod for VR.
Cool.
Right? The same people who make those have just been requested to make a mod for Cyberpunk 2077. So that'll be a VR version of that. It's not a VR version of the game, it's just a mod for that game. You'd have to own the PC game and then mod it. But jumping on that sort of stuff, actually, check out if you've got stuff like Game Pass as well. There's a couple of games on there that actually have it. Battle Squadrons, Star Wars Battle Squadrons is VR compatible.
Yeah, but then if you've got Game Pass, you mean you download it on the PC via Game Pass and then you play it that way?
You go, yeah. So you
There's a
go
setting.
onto the Game Pass, download the game on Game Pass. There's a little bit of a trick. You basically open up Steam VR,
Right.
Steam VR on your PC. You have to do this anyway when you play a PC game. So open up Steam VR. Steam VR will pick up your headset, and then when in the Xbox app, when you go to click on play the game, it'll ask you if you want to play it in normal mode or VR mode.
All right. Cool.
And
Yeah,
you
'cause I
can
know
play Star
Flight
Wars
Simulator's one of them as well.
Flight Simulator, Star Wars, Battlefront is one. But not Battlefront. Squadrons is one. Um, what's that space flying
Oh,
not Star Citizen.
the one me and you
That's a really
played.
big one.
I think I know which one you mean. I can't think of the name of it. That I could just imagine being sick.
Elite Dangerous is one.
Yeah, that's the one I
That's
thought you were on about.
Oh no, yeah, but it's not that one. Elite Dangerous is
Oh,
really
the one
good.
where you land on the planets and you build your base and stuff like that. That one.
You can build a base on it now, but you fly through space. Oh, it's a really popular Xbox game. It's annoying me that I can't see it.
The joys of recording live. This.
I know, yeah. Find it for you.
Not Space Engineers, is it?
No.
No. I was thinking. I can see the image in front of me, but what the hell is that called there? Stupid thing. No Man's Sky?
That's the one.
Yeah. Yeah, you could build a base on that from the beginning. I mean, you were playing it and we were building like a little base.
Oh yeah, sorry, the unlocked colonies or something. You can build your own base station and stuff now,
Right, okay.
where people will actually come to and stuff. Sorry.
Cool.
But yeah, so there's lots of games that you might already have that are VR compatible.
Yeah.
I might even really enjoy them and stuff, and you might want to play them. I believe there's a mod just come not that long ago came out for Valheim.
Yeah, I seen it, yeah.
Play Valheim in VR. So lots of cool things, lots of things you can do. I'm sure if Craig is good and Santa brings him one, we'll be testing some of these sort of things out.
Aye. So yeah, that was our brief 52-minute look into VR. To be fair, that was I think it's a good insight for anyone listening who's new to it. And I mean, I've got some good questions answered in that myself as well. So I think I think we'll leave that there. We won't go any further. Obviously, we don't want to bore everyone to death. And we will move on to our final little entry to our podcast, as we do every week, for our question to each other, if you want to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just want to add that I'm winning 5-3 now, don't forget. I'm 2 up on you.
Yeah.
So if you want me to, I will read my question to you first.
Yeah. I'm just getting phone called at the same time.
All right, okay.
Yeah, just give me 1 second.
No worries. Right. Just while Mike's just nipped off, then I know we said we finish with VR, but I'll add another little point in there. Mike did mention about so motion sickness in VR. Now, if you do suffer from motion sickness, and this is something that you want to kind of alleviate while playing on the VR headsets, from what I know, is basically it's like getting your sea legs. You just need to keep playing, and eventually it will become easier and easier. There's a couple of other little things you can do to try and reduce this, and one of them was to put some sort of mat or something on the floor, so you know like how far you're moving. If you step off, you should be able to feel the different texture under your feet. Also, they were saying to put a fan directly in front of you, and now what that will do is obviously you can feel the wind blowing in your face. So as you turn left or right, if you turn left or right in the game, but you're still facing forwards, you won't feel like you're moving but not moving, if that makes sense. So it should reduce any motion sickness in there as well. Let's go back quickly to the cases you can actually get in for the VR headsets as well. You can get the official VR one. Now that is sitting in the UK at £50 or £49.99 for the actual official one. There are a couple of good decent ones you can get via Amazon for a lot cheaper. So we can link them up on our Facebook page for you if you would like to see those. I suppose we could put our recommended link leads, head straps, and so on and so forth. We can link those up for you, and you can, pick those up. And
Cool.
on that note, Mike has returned.
I've returned.
Wonder's returned. Yeah, we'll only keep you for another few more minutes anyway. So I've got a quick question for you, so we'll get this rattled off. So my question to you, Mike, right? Oculus Quest was released on Oculus Quest was released on 21st of May 2019, right? 2 weeks after launch, in dollars, how much content was reportedly sold? Was it
Content?
how much content on the Oculus Quest was sold after 2 weeks of launch? Was it A, 5 million, B, 6 million, or C, $7 million worth of content?
7.
Unfortunately, you're wrong. It was 5.
And it'd be either way. Either way.
Bit optimistic there. So no, yeah. To be fair, 5 million after 2 weeks that's very, very, very good.
But yeah, but you're saying content. So if they sold like 5 million units and everyone bought a £20 game, that's...
Yeah, but after 2 weeks.
Yeah, true. Maybe I missed the 2 weeks out. Fair enough.
Yeah, after 2 weeks.
Okay, I've got a VR one for you as well.
Oh, he's following suit. He's learning. Go for it.
So as you just pointed out, that the Oculus Quest was brought out in 2019.
May.
When?
21st of May it was.
When was the first ever VR headset created?
Do you know, I need to got this question for you. But I didn't research it, so I don't know the answer.
Was it 1960?
Right.
1968?
Yeah.
Or 1975?
I'm going to go 1975. Just because I think the 60s is too soon. I'm obviously wrong.
1968.
1968.
It was connected to a computer, not a camera, and it was very large and very scary contraption that was too heavy for anyone to wear on their own.
What, so?
Suspended from the ceiling.
Everyone's holding it.
Had to be suspended from the ceiling.
Fucking hell. So on that note, then it remains at 5-3. Yeah. I think it's been a very informative day today. Not much taking the piss,
No, it's all good. You did that yourself, mate.
Thank you. So what I'll do is we'll leave it there, and then obviously I'll keep you informed on the day when Santa brings me my presents over.
Yeah, let me know. I'll be down.
Aye, you will, yeah.
I'll be down. We'll have to give it a go.
I know. I was thinking, I can't really play in my dining room. I've got a light that's about 7 foot, hanging from the ceiling. It's about 7 foot from the floor. So swinging your arms up, you're going to hit that. But in the front room, I don't know whether.
You'll be alright if you're playing a game that doesn't require it.
Well, I'm thinking if you want to do
Beat Saber.
I was going to say I didn't know if you want to do double Beat Saber. You can't really. We'll be in there whacking each other in the front room. Twatting each other in the face.
It's okay. I can play with a small space.
It's not the first time you said that, is it? Right.
No.
Right, you've been listening to myself, Craig, aka Z Crisis 2 on all social media. This has been episode 19, and also with us today.
Yeah, it's Mike. I'm Iron Mike 2 on Xbox and social media. Come and join us. Comment, tell us more. We want to know more from you guys, what you want.
Yeah.
It's all good.
No, it's been good. Thank you for listening, everyone. Take care of yourselves.
All right, take it easy.
See you
Bye.
now.